Yo, we're gonna be reacting to Who is Swamp Izzo, Playboi Carti's DJ. Let's do it.
Have you been listening to the new Playboi Carti songs and wondered who the hell is Swamp Izzo?
Izzo!
The man who is yelling to your ear is not a random dude from Playboi Carti circle. DJ Swamp Izzo is known for his work with Young Thug, Future, Cash Money Records, and even President Barack Obama. This man
Even Barack too? What? Really?
has been behind some of the biggest moves in rap for the past decade. But before he was one of the most trusted ears in rap, he was just a kid trying to make a name for himself. So how did he go from a local DJ to a worldwide music force? Let's take it back to the beginning.
Yeah, let's see. Shit.
Izzo's real name is Matsio. He was born in Walterboro, South Carolina, a place
Oh, that's right here. I'm from North Carolina. Okay, wow, that's close. Okay.
where the grind was real and the hustle was necessary. His father's setbacks, the realities of life behind the scenes, he saw it all. It shaped his persona, taught him how to move, how to think, how to survive, but it was his mother who gave him something even more important: love for music. By 14, he had already found his calling. DJing became the true passion of Matsio.
Oh, DJing at 14? Yeah, that's really in his DNA for real. God.
He didn't wait for an invitation. He found his way in, sneaking into clubs, offering to play for free, setting up wherever there was an open turntable. The spots were wild, fights, chaos, the unpredictable energy of the streets. But none of it mattered.
Always asked the DJ, and he was like, "Get out of my face, you're too young." So one day I went to him and I was like, "Yo, I DJ for free." And he was like, "What? Get in here." It's like, so I was DJing in there
Bruh, nobody likes stuff more than when it's free, right?
for old people, like they was dancing, shooting, stabbing, and everything. I'm still in there, sneaking out the house, going to DJ.
From cookouts to high school parties, from house sets to small venues, he played anywhere that would let him. Every set was a lesson, every crowd a new challenge.
No, that's tough though, because he probably gained a whole bunch of experience and like ability, you know, doing that.
What started as a hustle was turning into something bigger. The real turning point in Swamp's life was his move to Atlanta. And when Izzo got there, everything changed. Swamp Izzo knew if he wanted to take things to the next level, this was the place to be. He moved to Bankhead, where legends were made and the sound of Atlanta was being crafted in real time. One of the first major influences in his journey was Shawty Lo, Bankhead's own, a street legend before he became a rap icon.
Yeah, I wonder how they met.
Swamp Izzo started spinning Lowe's exclusive, unreleased tracks. Bankhead was changing, Atlanta was growing, and Swamp Izzo was finding his place in it all. But what came next? That's when he stopped playing around with DJing and started making real moves. But the name Swamp Izzo, that wasn't something he came up with himself. Snoop Dogg actually gave him that name.
How did
Bro, what? So when he came to Atlanta, was he already tapped in?
you get the name Swamp Izzo?
Snoop Dogg had a show called For Shizzle Tizzle TV. You remember that? All right, he pressed up some business cards, 1,000 business cards, and gave them to everybody and called me Swamp Izzo.
Okay.
I was just Swamp. He called it Swamp Izzo, and I do funerals, mitzvahs, and stuff like that as a joke. Everybody was in the hood was calling me Swamp.
DJs in 2000s weren't just the middlemen in the hip-hop world, they were the gatekeepers. Before a record made it to the radio, it had to pass through the DJs.
Yeah, and at that time too, they were really important. So it's probably how he built up his notoriety.
They controlled the culture. If a DJ wasn't playing your music wasn't moving. Swamp Izzo understood this power early on. Mixtapes were the pulse of the underground, and the right DJ could turn an unknown artist into a household name overnight. In Atlanta, one place dictated the sound of the streets more than anywhere else: the strip clubs. They were like music incubators, testing grounds where only the hardest beats and the most infectious hooks could survive. Swamp Izzo stepped into this world and made it his own when he became a resident of the Blue Flame Lounge strip club. Swamp was betting on artists before anyone else saw their potential. One of the first was Young Scooter.
Oh wow, yeah. So he was locked in. He said, "All right, I'm gonna just hit the clubs, give them what they want, you know, free music or free DJs, and then just lock in with the artists and charge them on the back end." Wow, now that's smart, savvy business.
He saw something in Scooter, something that needed refining, but the raw energy was there. He told him to take rap seriously, to lean into his voice, his story, his presence. Scooter listened, and the streets responded. Then came Future. Before the diamond chains and sold out tours, Swamp Izzo saw the
Swamp Izzo broke Future too?
spark. Future's sound was different. The way he stretched his words, the way he rode the beat, it wasn't like anything else at the time. Swamp gave Future his first real platform, secured his first paid shows, and made sure his records were hitting the right ears.
Wow, yeah. His track record is crazy.
The city started to take notice. The clubs couldn't get enough. And just like that, a superstar was in the making. Then there was Young Thug, the artist that broke every rule in rap and rewrote the game. in his own language. When Swamp Izzo first heard him, he knew instantly this wasn't just different, this was special. Thug's unorthodox style, his unpredictable flow, his ability to twist melodies out of thin air, it was unlike anything the industry had seen. But raw talent wasn't enough, it had to be tested.
Yeah, so he's like kind of like the person that turns raw talent into stars for real. That's probably why Carti likes him a lot, because they're from Atlanta.
And I'm like, no, listen to what he's saying, because I come from the school of lyricism and rapping, and I used to rap. So I'm listening to him, and
Swamp took Thug straight to Bankhead, straight to the heart of the culture, and let the streets decide. The reaction? Undeniable. They worked together on Young Thug's 1017 and I Came From Nothing Part 2 and 3, projects that cemented Thug's status as the next big thing.
Wow.
To this day, one of the first videos on Swamp Izzo's YouTube channel is a preview of Young Thug I Came From Nothing Part 2. From breaking records in strip clubs to putting the right artists in the right rooms, Swamp Izzo's influence started to shape the Atlanta rap scene.
Yeah, he's literally putting it together like a A&R kind of.
By the early 2000s,
Imagine if like he was signing these artists.
And 10s, Swamp Izzo had built a reputation for knowing who was next up before anyone else did. His ear for talent was undeniable, and when he saw an opportunity to take things to the next level, he made it happen. At the time, Rich Homie Quan and Young Thug were two of the hottest rising names in Atlanta. Both had distinct sounds, Quan with his melodic street rap, Thug with his unorthodox flows and futuristic style. But their music was still rooted in the underground. They needed platform with bigger audience. That's where Birdman came in. As the head of Cash Money Records, Birdman had an eye for talent and a history of turning young artists into superstars, from Lil Wayne to Drake to Nicki Minaj. Swamp Izzo played a key role in bridging the gap between the Atlanta newcomers and the Cash Money empire.
Okay, that makes sense.
Rich Gang wasn't just a collaboration, it was a movement. With Birdman's resources, Thug and Quan's chemistry, and Swamp Izzo in the mix, Rich Gang became one of the most influential forces in hip-hop.
Yeah, no, they went crazy. And really because of Swamp Izzo, damn.
The music they created in that era, especially Lifestyle, would go on to shape the sound
In my lifestyle, that's my shit.
of modern rap. By 2014, Swamp Izzo's influence had expanded beyond Atlanta. That year, he was officially named the DJ for Cash Money Records.
Okay, now it's starting to make sense. That's why I love these kind of like little history videos, because you really get to see people's story and how they work to get to where they are. Like, it's not luck, bro. It's literally not luck. It's hard work, everyday, consistent work. He's been doing this for years. It's 2025, and we're just now learning about it, but it's just coming back to everyone's like attention. This is crazy, bro. These people work for a long time.
Official. Calling out DJs, DJ Swamp Izzo. It's official. Gang YSF. Like, so I'm just letting y'all know, never see this nigga fuck with him. YSF being Rich Gang.
With this new role, Swamp went on tour with Lil Wayne, Drake, and Nicki Minaj, three of the biggest artists in the world at the time. Beyond the turntables, Swamp Izzo also played a role in scouting new talents for the label. He was more than just a DJ. He was shaping the direction of Cash Money's next moves.
Yeah, about to say that. He's basically like an A&R. He's basically doing that before he joined.
But even with all the success, one thing never changed: his ability to keep his finger on the pulse of the culture. By this point, Swamp Izzo had already established himself as one of the most influential DJs in hip-hop. But in a career full of defining moments, one gig stood out from the rest: DJing for President Barack Obama. He was handpicked to DJ for Obama's international military tour, a rare and prestigious opportunity that
Are you serious?
put him in a completely different arena. For Swamp, it was a career-defining moment. It was
He did say he DJ for Barack.
a clear sign that his work had transcended Atlanta, the rap game, and even the music industry itself. One of the biggest reasons DJ Swamp Izzo has captured so much attention is his close collaboration with Playboi Carti. As Carti entered his I Am music era, Swamp was right there, influencing the sound and ensuring it made an impact. He became an integral part of Carti's performances, hyping up the crowd and injecting an unmatched energy into every show.
Facts. He does do a really great job.
His voice and signature ad-libs have become a staple in Carti's live performance and even some of his music. Tracks like Evil Jordan and Blicksum feature his contributions, blending seamlessly with Carti's chaotic, high-energy aesthetic.
It does go together. Carti,
Izzo, Swamp, Izzo. Fans recognize his influence not just as a background figure, but as major part of Carti's entire performance style.
Yo.
He is taking part in Carti's music production. We can feel the old school energy of tracks where they
True, there is a lot of old school energy in Carti's music, which is crazy.
collaborate.
Carti's dropping an album.
In February of 2023, Swamp Izzo announced that he recorded whole album with Playboi Carti and it's ready to drop. Last year, they were
Yeah, I remember that. I remember that. And I didn't even know who he was for, but people were like, Swamp Izzo said it's coming out, so it's coming out. Like, oh my God.
rumors that Carti have 2 albums ready to drop, I Am Music and Baby Boy. Swamp was probably talking about the second one that is meant to be released after Music. But as we all know, Carti has announced many projects that never dropped.
True, exactly.
Swamp Izzo Playboi Carti album is done.
Oh!
I'm gonna get that to work from here. Swamp is
Whether he's on stage igniting the audience or adding an extra layer of hype to Carti's tracks, his influence in most recent Playboi Carti's era is undeniable.
Yeah, he was already mainstream, but this is so much success. I don't even know what to do with myself.
Not 2025. 2024.
Through all the eras, all the trends, Swamp Izzo remained a constant force. From Atlanta's underground to global tours, from breaking street anthems to DJing for a president, his journey was proof that when you control the sound, you control the culture. For all the success and accolades, Swamp Izzo's journey wasn't smooth. He quit DJing multiple times. Burnout, industry politics, and personal struggles made him step away more than once. But
Damn, bruh. You just gotta keep going. That's it. Consistency. It's not about who does it great 1 or 2 times. It's about who keeps doing that shit, nigga.
every time, he came back stronger. One of the biggest turning points came when he got fired from AutoZone. At the time, he was juggling work and music, unsure if DJing could fully support him, but that job loss, it was the push he needed to go all in. For Swamp, every setback was a setup for something bigger. He watched DJs rise and fade, artists blow up and disappear. The difference between those who lasted and those who didn't, the ones who survived kept evolving. Swamp Izzo isn't just living off past success, he's still shaping the
He's
future
still creating the future, yeah.
of hip-hop. Right now, he's working on new music with Future. And not just any music, he's got access to multiple unreleased Future tracks, a privilege only given to a select few. Music isn't the only lane he's moving in. Swamp Izzo is actively involved in movie projects, looking to expand his brand beyond the music industry. We will see how it will work out for him. What do you think collaboration of Swamp Izzo's with which artist had the most impact on the rap scene?
Oh my God, bro. You're like, at that point, you just doing side missions, you know? And I can't wait to get to that point because I feel like that's when you really start living for real, you know? But nah, shout out to him. Like, he's going absolutely crazy. Izzo! Swamp! Izzo!